A Wife's Wrath Turned Deadly, the Betty Broderick story 1991. She was a mother of 4, married for years, and by all appearances living the American dream. But inside her marriage, something was rotting. In November 1989, Betty Broderick walked into her ex-husband's bedroom and executed the people in cold blood. 2 trials later, in December 1991, the nation watched as her life, marriage, and rage were laid bare in court. This is the story of Betty Broderick, wife, mother, accused killer. Betty Broderick, born Elizabeth in Bistiglia, married Daniel T. Broderick III, a successful lawyer, in 1969. Over the years, Betty gave up parts of her career, supported Dan through school, raised their children, and managed a household while Dan's legal career flourished. As Dan's power grew, tensions emerged. Betty claimed she was controlled financially, emotionally, and marginalized in decisions. The turning point came when Dan began an affair with his much younger assistant, Linda Kolkina. The betrayal stung deeply for Betty. Betty began leaving angry messages on Dan's answering machine. She complained about her loss of status, her children, finances, and how she felt discarded. She also confronted Dan publicly, staged drama at his offices, clashed about custody, and made financial demands. The legal and personal war escalated. In late 1989, she purchased a .38 caliber revolver, a choice that would become central to her fate. In the early hours of November 5, 1989, Betty used her daughter's key to enter Dan's house at 1041 Cypress Avenue in San Diego. She walked into the bedroom where Dan and Linda slept. She fired 5 shots to struck Linda in the head and chest, killing her instantly. 1 hit Dan, 1 hit in nightstand, and 1 bullet struck a wall. Dan, reportedly wounded and dying, attempted to reach for the phone, but Betty had already removed its wiring to prevent him calling for help. Linda died instantly. Dan likely lingered briefly before succumbing.
Betty was arrested immediately. She did not deny pulling the trigger. Her defense, she had not planned to kill, but was startled and driven over the edge. The first trial ended in a hung jury, with jurors divided over premeditation versus crime of passion. The mistrial set the stage for retrial in 1991. The retrial began December 11, 1991. Betty was again tried for the murders of Dan and Linda. Prosecutors argued that the crime was premeditated. She planned entry, disabled the phone, retrieved the weapon, and acted with lethal intent. Defense countered that years of emotional, psychological abuse pushed her to a breaking point. She claimed she fired in a blur, not intending to kill both. On December 1991, the jury found Betty guilty of 2 counts of second-degree murder. She was sentenced to 32 years to life, 15 years to life for each murder, plus 2 years for illegal firearm use. Betty has been denied parole multiple times, 2010, 2017, etc., because she has not shown remorse or insight according to parole boards. The case divides opinion. Supporters see her as a betrayed, abused woman pushed over the edge. Opponents see a woman who chose murder to reclaim control. In popular media, her story was dramatized in TV movies and the 2nd season of Dirty John, the Betty Broderick story. Critics highlight that Betty's case raised issues about domestic abuse, gender roles, power in divorce, and how the legal system handles emotionally volatile cases. Betty Broderick's case remains one of America's most sensational and polarizing true crime stories. A wife scorned? Or a cold-blooded murderer? The answer lies not just in the evidence, but in the messy intersections of love, betrayal, power, and desperation. If you found this story